I want to talk a little bit about how my parents found out I was deaf and the experience of how they found out I was deaf and what they did after. So remember that my brother is 4 years older than me. So they had him and then they had me. I was about 10 months old. I wasn't sick or anything, so we were out on my father's friend's boat. I was about 10 months old and my parents were holding me. And then the boat horn went off and I didn't move. My parents were thinking, what's going on? She's still sleeping. So after I didn't move, they tried to move me a little bit closer to the horn, and I moved a little bit. My mom started worrying and got paranoid. After the boat, they took me home and put me in my crib. And while I was in my crib, my parents went into the kitchen and started banging pots and pans. They were banging them and seeing if I would move, and nothing happened. And from then, my mom knew something wasn't right. We went to the hospital. We did a bunch of tests and they found out I was deaf. My mother broke down crying. My dad was trying to support her and tell her it was okay. My mom thought everything would be fine and I would have a normal life. My parents had never met a deaf person in their entire life, and they had never experienced deaf people. So remember, I was 10 months old, so I was really young, and my parents were thinking of joining a program for parents with deaf children. There my mom met a deaf woman. She could sign. That deaf woman helped my mom a lot. She introduced my mom to programs, schools, and signing. So from there, my mom learned sign and then in turn taught me sign. And I learned how to sign from that program too. I learned to sign when I was about 1. I wore hearing aids from ages like 1 to 3, and then started speech therapy. I don't remember much about that, but I learned to sign. At that time, I met a woman who had a daughter who was much older than me. We were both looking for a school to go to. That was where I found out about Illinois School for the Deaf. My mom looked at that program, but it was too far. And the woman also had a child, but she thought it was too far as well.
Done!